Like we are here. So now we can go.
Recording in progress.
All right. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shabbat shalom. Greetings, everyone. How is everyone doing on this beautiful Sabbath day on the Shabbat? Today is, today is April 11th, 2026. This is April 11th, 2026. And this is Sabbath Assembly of the Righteous. This is Sabbath Assembly of the Righteous, right? So in this Assembly of the Righteous, which is the Sabbath day, we're here every Sabbath from 12 p.m. noon. At 12 p.m. noon, I give people a little chance to get set and settled before I get started. But this is at 12 p.m. noon, which is the beginning of the evening. We're here, and we're going through the scriptures. We're going through the scriptures, meaning we're going through the Bible. And we're at 1 Kings chapter 15. It all depends how long it is, maybe 15 and 16, but mainly right now, we're at 1 Kings chapter 15. And haven't seen any of it yet, so I'll go through and see what happens in a little bit. But other than that, first thing we always start off with a prayer. After the prayer, we go through the commandments. And after commandments, we go through the reasons why we have prophets. And after that, then we go into the information for today, the story of today, or the history of today. Of the scriptures, that is, today. So other than that, we're going to start off with the prayer. And we state, Blessed be thou, Father of the universe, that bring forth all living creatures forth from the earth. Blessed be thou, Father of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Blessed be the Father of Israel. Blessed be the Father of 12 tribes of Israel. Thank you, Father, for all you've done, been doing, and plan to do. We ask you to keep giving us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, life, health, and strength, food, shelter, and clothing. Let us be happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, and prosperous in all that we do. We ask you to keep leading and guiding us so we can help lead and guide others in your knowledge, your word, your ruach, and your way. We ask you to keep your arm protection around us, keep us in a way, help us in a way that we may know to do and build and grow in your word. We ask you to keep us retain or let us retain the knowledge of the information in our minds and in our brains that we may help others with the information as well. We also ask you, Father, to forgive us, our ancestors, and our forefathers for going against you and your word, and we've transgressed against you, and you've also transgressed against us. We ask you to forgive us of the transgressions that we have done against you and your word. We also ask you, Father, to allow us to understand and know the information in your scriptures, which is your main scripture in Deuteronomy 28, which is the blessings, which is from 28, 1 through 14, and the curses, which is in Deuteronomy 28, 15 through 68. We ask you to allow us to know these things and understand these things, and we ask you to lift the spirit of deep sleep from us, that we may awaken and arise to your knowledge and your information. We ask you to forgive us of all these forgive us and help us in every way, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, financial, or spiritual. In all these things we pray. Hallelujah. 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 Praise you, Almighty. Thank you, Father. All right, let's see who's coming in. We got a couple of people look like they're coming in. All right, we got okay, there we go. Got a couple coming. Oh, all right. Let's see if there's anybody else like they're joining. Okay. TB, I think that's Teddy B. And all right, y'all. I was going through the prayer right then. I couldn't let you right in, so I was going through the prayer at that point in time. But other than that, thank you for joining us. Well, we have our sister Nicole Bell. We have our brother Teddy Bay. I do believe that is, and our brother. Yes, that's my brother Teddy Bay. And also, we got our brother Cass. We got our brother Cass that just joined us as well. All right, out of the UK. All right. So what we about to do? We getting ready to go into the commandments. Going into the commandments. We just got through with the prayer. Going into the commandments, and we're going to start in the commandments. We're at Exodus chapter 20. This is Exodus chapter 20. All right. So in Exodus chapter 20, These are the commandments that the Creator, the Almighty, spoke to the children of Israel in the wilderness. After leaving Egypt, they came to they was in the wilderness, and this is where we at in this point in time to know what the Creator said from His voice to the children of Israel. And then from this point, we're going to understand why we have prophets. Compared to what the world has been taught, why we have prophets, we don't go with the word say when it comes to why we have prophets after hearing the voice of Yah, which is spoken of in the 10 Commandments, which is where we are at this moment in time. So right now we're in Exodus chapter 20, verse 1. And these are the 10 Commandments. And it starts, verse 1. And Yah spake all these words, saying, I am Yah thy father, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. First commandment, thou shalt have no other deities, which is other gods before me. All right? And that's anything. And how you find that out is by the second commandment. Second commandment, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything. So that means no thing in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. That means no thing. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them physically, mentally, or spiritually. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, thy father, thy Yah, am a jealous father, visiting the iniquity, the ignorance, the sins of the fathers, which is the parents, upon the children, which is the children that's taught by the parents, unto the third, which is the Greek, and the fourth, which is the Roman generation, which is world powers of them that hate me. The Greek and Roman Empire changed everything in the earth. And showing mercy, which they call grace today, and showing mercy, which is grace, unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Third commandment, thou shalt not take the name, which is the law. The law is the Creator's name, which is the representative of his name. Thou shalt not take the name, which is the law of Yah thy father, in vain. For Yah will not hold him guiltless that taketh, continue to take, the law, which is his name, in vain. Fourth commandment, remember the Sabbath day, which is where we are at this point in time, and keep it hallowed, which is set aside. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of Yah thy father. In it thou, mean you and your wife, because you are one, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days Yah made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore Yah blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it, set it aside to worship him and to honor him. The fifth commandment, honor thy father and thy mother, which is honor your elders. Your elders is not just your father and your biological father and mother. It's talking about the elders of the community. All right? Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which Yah thy father giveth thee. Because the elders are the one who teach you the things that they've been through. A lot of people are growing up, but the elders has already been through some of the things that a lot of the children are coming to go through. Sixth commandment, thou shalt not murder. It says thou shalt not kill, but you can kill for a purpose. A lot of time when you're taking a life, like when you're taking flesh to eat, when you're having a sacrifice or you're making a sacrifice, you're sacrificing a life for a purpose, which is to eat, or for a purpose for the Creator. But when you murder something, you're taking life without a cause. So in Hebrew, it's actually thou shalt not murder. The seventh commandment, thou shalt not commit adultery. So adultery, idolatry, and fornication is really of the same. Because when a man and a woman come together, they are one. or when a man and his women are together, they are as one. Because when a woman invites or allows a man to come into her house, which is her, she becomes his wife, unless she becomes, or unless she's a whore and he be a whoremonger. That's the difference. So that's when, so getting off of that. So adultery, idolatry, and fornication is really when a man has a woman and that woman goes outside of her husband or her man and be with another man. That is adultery, idolatry, and fornication. No different than if a man mess around with another man's woman, which is his wife, because those women that belong to him belongs to one man. The women that belongs to a man that mess around with someone else is committing a adultery and idolatry and fornication. So that's something to think about. Look up because I've done the research. Look it up, and when you really look at it, it's like sex guide. You might as well look at it. If you're doing something outside the law, it's idolatry. Just that simple. All right. The eighth commandment: Thou shalt not steal, and we all know that's taking something from someone else. The ninth commandment: Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. And I always share that they do that in the courts of today all the time. A prosecutor, lawyer, and a attorney. All three of them commits. Uh, um, they commit this law, or they go against this law when they bear false witness because they wasn't there to see what happened. So that's actually bearing false witness because they're speaking on behalf of something they don't know or they don't see. And the tenth and last commandment that the Creator spoke from his lips to the children of Israel and the mixed multitude that was with them. All right. Thou shalt not covet which is want thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet which is want thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. These are the 10 commandments that the Creator spoke, or the laws that the Creator spoke concerning the children of Israel and the things they're supposed to do. The statutes go with the laws. So these things that pertains to those laws are statutes that the Creator speak about in the book that pertains to each one of those commandments plus. All right. Then we go into the reason why we have prophets. Right here in verse 18, which is right after 10 commandments, is the people's fear, which is my heading at this point. Verse 18 states, And all the people saw the thunderings and the lightnings and the noise of the trumpet and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off. Just imagine when you're, like I always share this, I share this every week. If you're in your house and it's thundering and lightning hard outside, you know how it used to be when, if and y'all are old enough, if y'all was around your parents or grandparents, it was thundering and lightning and raining so hard that they would cut the lights off and everything off because it was so outside. They'll cut stuff. God talking. Shh, don't say nothing. Just sitting there, just listen to the rain and just chill. Right? Imagine being outside. Imagine being outside under the heavens and there's no covering. There's no covering at this time. So at this time, imagine that's why the people stood afar off and ran. All right, Kaz, what you want to say real quick while we're going through the information?
It's a scary stuff. I was in Florida on a military highway. I'm driving along, and this guy was in front of me in his car on his bike, and it actually cut his frame in half. It threw him on the ground. It's the lightning.
The what? What happened now?
The lightning cut through his frame and knocked him off the bike.
Oh, the lightning actually hit his frame while he was
Yeah,
riding.
yep. It was crazy.
That was something
Oh
that
my
was a sight to
God.
see, wasn't it?
Oh my goodness, it is. It was. It's scary.
I see why
You
you
know,
came. I seen you came in the middle of me sharing this information. Why you you spoke on that for a purpose. Yeah.
right.
So, but that was a testimony. So the whole thing is that we have to understand when the Creator is speaking. You know, you supposed to cut it loose. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people, and it was good that he had when he was riding, those rubber was on the road, and he probably got electrocuted. The person that you're talking about. But yet and still, as it says in verse 18, this is what happened when the Creator was speaking to them, and you can imagine being outside under the whole heaven and not having a covering, and that thunder and lightning was going on. So the people ran and moved afar off. And this is why I try to get people to understand. If you put yourself in the story, a lot of people just read across the words. But when you put yourself in the story, you can see things for what they really are. So, verse 19 says, and they said unto Moses, the people said unto Moses, thou speak thou with us. All right, young man. Speak thou with us, and we will hear. But let not Yah speak with us, lest we die. They don't realize, and a lot of people don't realize, right here is when the children of Israel asked for prophets. At this point, right here. Because Moses was a prophet working, which was an ambassador working from and through the creator working through Moses to bring the information to them. And right here is when they first asked for a prophet, but people read across the words and can't see what's being said. But we'll get to that in the next portion in a few moments. 19 again, and they said unto Moses, speak thou with us, and we will hear. But let not Yah speak with us, lest we die. And Moses said unto the people, verse 20, fear not, for Yah is come to prove you. He's come to prove you. And that his fear may be before your faces, that ye sin not. His fear may be before you, that you don't sin. And the people stood afar off, and Moses drew near into the thick darkness where Yah was. So, as we can see, according to the Ten Commandments movie, the Creator spoke the Ten Commandments to everybody out there. Then Moses went into the mountain to receive the laws from on the stone from the Almighty and the Most High, the Creator. All right. Then we go over here to that conclusion, which is in Deuteronomy chapter 18, starting at verse 15. This is the conclusion to what we just saw right after the commandments. Right here. Deuteronomy 18, verse 15 says, a promised prophet. Yah thy father will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee, of thy brethren. He's telling you he's going to raise a prophet from the midst of you, from among your brethren, like unto me. Unto him ye shall hearken. Unto him ye shall hearken. Now the Christians would take this and say, oh, that's talking about Jesus. But they forget about all the prophets in the Tanakh, which is the Torah, and the Tanakh. Tanakh is the prophets, which you have Isaiah, Ezekiel, Jeremiah, Hosea, Joel, Zechariah, and Haggai, all these other prophets. But the Christian community will tell you, well, that's talking about Jesus, talking about a prophet. It's talking about a prophet in its time, in the time when he rose the prophets. So people have to have like my old teacher used to say, get wisdom, get knowledge, but in all your getting, get an understanding. Why? Because understanding will keep you. And that's where we at. So verse 16, he says, according to all that thou desirest of Yah thy father in Horeb, in the day that of the assembly, saying, this is when the people said, he's bringing back right here what they said in Exodus 20, verse 19, saying, let me not hear again the voice of Yah my father, neither let me see this great fire anymore, that I die not. This is what they said. That's why I said, when you put yourself into the scriptures and see who's talking, when it's being said, who's saying it, and what it's talking about, you can get a better understanding of what it said instead of just reading across the word. Yeah, I read the Bible, but, people don't understand what's going on. So right here is when the Creator starts speaking to Moses. Verse 17. And Yah said unto me, see, and Yah said unto me, they have well spoken that which they have spoken. I, who is I? The Creator. I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren, like unto thee. See, Moses, and will put my words in his mouth. All the prophets was ambassadors to the Creator. They spoke what the Creator said, and what the Creator said, they spoke it, and the Creator gonna give you the understanding to if there was his prophets or if they wasn't. Like unto thee, Moses, and will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him. Oh, those words of men, them men speaking in the New Testament. They don't say, thus saith the Father. That's actually from the Council of Nicaea. I just did three posts I just put up on YouTube, Facebook, and my Instagram a little earlier. Kind of shorts, but they're on there. But something to think about. I really gave you one about where Christianity, number 2, the one I did, but I'll get on that later. 19. And it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto my words, who's speaking? The Creator speaking. Whosoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak in my name. In whose name? The Creator name. Every time the prophets will speak, thus said Yah, thus said the Lord, thus said the Creator. These are the prophets speaking in the name of the Creator, right? I will require it of him. Greetings, baby. I'm glad you can join us. Glad you came in. Verse 20, Exodus 18:20. But the prophet which shall presume to speak a word, key is in my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, or that shall speak in the name of other gods. How many speaking in the name? How many speaking in the name of Jesus? How many people speaking in the name of Yahshua? How many people speaking in the name of Emmanuel? Or in the name of Prophet Muhammad? Or in the name of Farrakhan? Or in the name of Buddha? I'm telling you right here, the Creator is talking. But the prophet which shall presume to speak a word in my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, or that shall speak in the name of other gods, which is all this right here is breaking the first 3 commandments. Right here. Even that prophet shall die. And if thou say in thine heart, you say in your mind, how shall we know the word which Yah had not spoken? How are we going to know if he didn't speak it or not? When a prophet speaketh in the name of Yah, if the thing follow not, nor come to pass, that is the thing which Yah has not spoken. But the prophet has spoken it presumptuously, thou should not be afraid of him. You ain't got to be afraid of that prophet. You know why? You got to be afraid of the ones that when the prophet speak, when someone speak in the name of the Father, be afraid of him. I remember my brother told me that he had something to tell me. I was scared. Man, God told me to tell you. So I said, for real? What is it? I can't tell you over the phone. I can't tell you over the phone. I got to see you in person. Boy, I was nervous. I didn't know what I didn't know what. Because I have went through some things that, not harshly or nothing, but the Father showed me things. I've seen things that came to pass and that was told to me, and it wasn't bad. It was good, but yet still, just the fact that, man, bro, God told me to tell you something, and whatever. I think he said he just told me he had to tell me something. I said, well, tell me. Well, I can't tell you on the phone. I had to wait about 2 to 3 weeks. That seemed like about 2 or 3 months, because I'm nervous. But when he told me, and I saw him at a party, he told me. I said, I had to get the guys to go find him because they was throwing the party. I had just got there. When he came, he was acting like he didn't know what I was talking about. Well, he had like he didn't know what was going on at first. I said, you said you had something to tell me. Oh, like he forgot. Yeah, God told me to tell you he got a big plan for you. I was happy. Oh, man, I was glad then because that was my 3rd confirmation. 3rd confirmation. First time it was told to me spiritually in a vision. A prophetess told me, God got big plans for you. The second time it was told to me in Atlanta just before I came home. Told me, your woman you're gonna meet, woman you're gonna meet, she gonna be with you. And said my daughters needed me here in Detroit. Oh, your woman you're gonna meet her in Detroit and she gonna be with you. Also told me your daughters needed you there. They only need me, but I'm available. I ain't running kissing no butt though. I'm just saying that, but I'm here for them if they need me. Other than that, God got big plans for you. He said that 2014. That was told me before I moved back home. Then 20 years later, after the first time, in 98, 2018, is when he told me that. Hey, I see where I'm at. I see what's going on, and I'm thankful that I am a servant of the Almighty. Thank you, Father. So now, today, we're in 1 Kings chapter 15. We're in 1 Kings chapter 15, and but I always like to do a recap of what we did last week, right? So I like to go back for last week in chapter 14. What were we speaking in chapter 14? Oh, Jeroboam sends his wife to Ahiah. This right here was the beginning of the splitting of the it was in the split of the two kingdoms. Rehoboam, which is Solomon's son, was over Judah, might as well say Judah and Benjamin. Rehoboam was given back in chapter 14. No, that was chapter 13. No, it was chapter 12. 11 and 12. It was already given to Rehoboam that he was going to have 10 tribes. He's going to be over the 10 tribes, which was over the people in Samaria, which he is of the not Reuben. Then come on with his name. Manasseh and the youngest son. Dang, I can't even think of his name right now. Boy, that'd be getting me. But yeah, hold on. I want to get the name real quick. Name is it's like it's right there in my face, but I can't say it. Hold on, or I can do it. Let me hit. I can hit it real quick. The name of his, I can't think of the name. It's like I'm seeing the name right here in my face, but let me get it real quick. See, the key is right here because in 7 1 through 3, chapter 7 1 2 and 3 is talking about come on, what's your name? You ain't came up yet. Ephraim, yeah. Jeroboam was of the tribe of Ephraim, and the tribe of Ephraim, Jeroboam, he was over the 10 tribes, which is in Samaria. And Rehoboam ended up being over the because the Creator was upset with Solomon because he started worshiping all these other things. But the Creator gave a promise to David that he wasn't going to take the kingdom, even if he did wrong or whatever. He was going to chastise him, whatever he's going to do. But he wasn't going to do his son as he did with Saul. He stripped the kingdom from Saul, but he didn't strip the kingdom from Solomon. Solomon stayed king, but the Creator said that he was going to take it from his son, the full kingdom from his son. So his son ended up being over Judah and Benjamin, which Jeroboam seen favor in. Solomon seen favor in Jeroboam because he was industrious. So he made him the Creator. The Creator gave him favor through Ahiah, and he ripped up some suit he had on, a coat or something, in 12 pieces, and he said he was going to be over 10 tribes. So this is what happened. Their son got sick in 14. Their son got sick. So their son got sick, but that sickness came on the son because that sickness, the son, Jeroboam's son is the only son that was going to see of Jeroboam was going to see the grave, going to be buried in a presentable way. I'll put it like that. He's going to be buried in a presentable way. He said, all the rest, any one of your sons that piss against the white man, and your sons, all of they either going to die in the city, and the dog's going to eat them. And I remember seeing a video on YouTube or Instagram, one or the other, about these guys walk around these hyenas. They're the dogs. I'm kind of like, okay, they're actually walking around these wild hyenas. You know, walk around with like they switches and stuff. The hyenas didn't mess with them, but they was out there. You know, but the point is, kind of brought that back to my mind when it said your son's is going to be eaten by dogs in the city, or in the field the birds is going to eat them. If they die in the field, they're going to die either in the field or in the city. The only one that was going to have a burial was the one that got sick, and he told her, when you go back, when you get in the city, he gonna die. And then he said that people gonna mourn for him. So you can go back and read that point there. And then it goes into the reign of Jeroboam from verse 21. So from 1 to 20, it talks about Jeroboam, the death of his son, and the things that has happened on that point. And when the creator said that about the rest of his boys, when they're gonna either die in the field or they're gonna die in the city. And then Rehoboam, now the difference here is Judah sinned here. He didn't, you don't see here where it says he sinned from 21, well, we have from 21 to 31. It is, you don't see here where Rehoboam sinned, but you see where it says, and Judah did evil in the sight of the Creator. And they provoked Yah to jealousy with their sins, that's in verse 22, with their sins which they had committed above all that their fathers had done. You see that? And I still state, like I say, people do it today. I had a little conversation with some brothers on Facebook about the same thing. They too busy talking about this and that in Israel. I said they doing the same thing today. They did it before they got in. Actually, before they, when they came out of Egypt, man, because they had to come out of Egypt to really grow. But as they did it when they came out of Egypt. They did it while they was in the land. They did it when the judges was coming and helped them. They still sinned. When the kings came together, when David, I'm just giving a little paraphrase, when the Creator had David. Now, the Creator is over both, because in Chronicles it says the devil tempted David. I'm going to use the word tempt. The Creator had, the devil had got David to count the number of the people. And in 2 Samuel, it says the Creator had David to count the people, right? So, but both, if you really, really look at it, both of them was in the honor of the Creator. Both of them was the Creator that had him do it. Why? Because Israel sinned. Israel sinned. No different right here. It says Judah sinned. Judah did evil in the sight of the Creator. It didn't say nothing about Jeroboam here. Now, Rehoboam, but over here, Jeroboam did the sinning, and he caused the people to sin. That last two, just to give y'all the understanding of that, I got to give you the last two in 13, 33 and 34. I just wanted to share this with you. The obstinance of Jeroboam. There say, after this thing, Jeroboam returned not from his evil way, but made again of the lowest of the people priests of the high places. Whosoever would, he consecrated him, and he became one of the priests of the high places. No different than the Romans doing today when you go to college. When they trying to make you, well, you a priest, did you get your doctorate, and you got this, that, you come a bishop, and all these preachers and whatever it is that they call you. No different than today. 34. And this thing became sin unto the house of Jeroboam, even to cut it off and to destroy it from off the face of the earth. That was 32 and 33 of chapter 13. Then he goes into Jeroboam's son got sick, and he had his wife to go to disguise herself to go see Ahiah, the prophet. And the prophet told them what was going to happen. And then after all these situations happened, then the information came about to Jeroboam. And then it talked about Judah did evil in the sight of the Creator. So we got to understand the difference compared. And like I said, even if you're the leader, you can't have your eyes on everybody. It's our job. People are too quick to point the finger, but you need to be pointing at you. You got three fingers pointing back at you. They point the finger always talking about somebody else, but you need to be looking at self first. And I got, but I know brothers, some of the brothers that I had conversations with on Facebook. They too busy saying, well, Israel this and Israel. Well, what are you doing? What are you doing? You talking about Israel can't keep all the law. How come they can't keep all the law? Just the fact that you saying that you're promoting evil by saying they can't keep it. It ain't about keeping all. It's about keep it as you learn it. As you learn it, you grow in it. Who knows everything all at one time? Nobody. Everybody got to grow. But yet still, they don't realize that they are actually in sin by what they doing. Oh, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. Oh, you call yourself a Hebrew Israelite, but yet still you going against the law by saying you can't keep the law. What would you supposed to do? Fear God. We say, fear God and depart from evil. Well, how you do that? Fear God and depart from evil. How you do it? Fear God and depart from evil. Well, tell me what you got to do to fear God. Just fear God and depart. I said, man, that's stupid. See, people, they talk, but they don't have no remedy for what they're saying. They're going to get caught up in the things that they do. But they satisfied in what they do. They stay there. That's on you. Now, we're at chapter 15. 1 Kings chapter 15. It says, the wicked reign of Abiyam. I'm not saying the J. The J is really a Y. Abijam. Say Abiyam. Yam. Abiyam. I'm going to put it like that. Verse 15 and 1. Make sure I got my highlights ready. Now, in the 18th year of King Jeroboam. See that? Still with Jeroboam. Now, in the 18th year. I had to keep these dates together. The 18th year of King Jeroboam, son of Nebat. Now, in the 18th year of King Jeroboam, the son of Nebat reigned over Judah. Okay, gotcha. In the 18th year of King Jeroboam, the son of Nebat reigned Abiyam over Judah. So now, which column fell off? Which column fell off? Look like Jeroboam is gone. And Abiyam is in his stead. There we go. Over Judah. 3 years reigned he in Jerusalem. 3 years. Reigned he in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Maacah, the daughter of, I almost said Absalom. Abishalom. Is it Absalom? The daughter of Absalom? That would look like. Abishalom. It might be Absalom. The daughter of Absalom. And he walked in all the sins of his father. Which father? Because this was Judah. And he walked in all the sins of his father, which he had done before him. And his heart was not perfect with Yah, his father, as the heart of David. Now let's look at this from what it's saying. Now in the 18th year of King Jeroboam, the son of Nebat. Now he was in Samaria. Reigned Abiyam over Judah. Now this is Abiyam reigned over Judah. 3 years reigned he in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Maacah. the daughter of Abishalom. 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 And he walked in all the sins of his father, which he had done before him. The only sins that I could think of, if Rehoboam hadn't sinned, he had to walk in the sins of Solomon. Because Solomon was perfect. Then Solomon went, well, he starts worshiping other deities. That's why he said he had done before him. And his heart was not perfect with Yah his father, as the heart of David his father. Nevertheless, for David's sake, you see this right here? This is the promise of the Creator. Did Yah his father give him a lamp in Jerusalem? Gave him a lamp. Gave him a pass, sound like to me. Yah gave him a pass to set up his son after him and to establish Jerusalem. You see that? He gave him a pass because of David, because of his promise to David, the Creator's promise. That's how you see, and that's how when you go through scriptures, you can start to see and understand the points of view and why certain things happen. That yellow. Nevertheless, Yah gave him a pass. Verse 4. Nevertheless, for David's sake, did Yah give him a lamp to set up his son after him and to establish Jerusalem. This is how you understand when you see who and which is what. Cause in the 18th year of Jeroboam, in his 18th year in Samaria, in Jerusalem, Abiyam. I'm just going to say Abiyam. The wicked reign of Abiyam. Okay, verse 5. Because David did that which was right in the eyes of Yah and turned not aside from anything that he commanded him. See that? That the Creator commanded. Now you see that? Now this is a key. Everything that the Creator told David, he didn't turn aside from it. Solomon did it. Saul did it. Now, what David did do on his own accord was go and get somebody's wife, and even though she was married to a Hittite, which was not of the tribe of Israel, he defiled that man's wife and took a woman, took her and stuff like that. But he did that on his own accord. But David never went against the Creator's word. When the Creator told David something, David did it. When Samuel told, now this is what I mean by studying and understand what's being said, because this is a key. Because David, and a lot of people don't pay attention to the word, did that which was right in the eyes of Yah and turned not aside from anything, check this out, that he commanded. This is your key. That he commanded him. That's your key. People don't pay attention to words. That's what I'm talking about. People don't pay attention to words to understand the defined points and visions and pieces in here. David never turned from what the Creator said. A lot of people try to point out, like, the only thing some people run down the ground. David was a murderer. I remember this brother, I ain't gonna say his name. I said it last week. And as a matter of fact, I said it earlier this week when I was giving them props. But I'm not going to say who it is because I'm not going to say nothing bad on the point. But this brother was actually teaching, and he was saying, David was a murderer. And here I hear people say it, David was a murderer. I said, David wasn't a murderer. Do y'all know what a murderer is? I actually wrote this, said David wasn't a murderer. He killed a man or had a man murdered, not murderer. Murderer is what Job did. Joab, shall I say. Joab, however you want to call it. He killed two men. He murdered two men. stuck him in the ribs. One what's his name? Not Nadab. What's his name? Nadab? No, it's not Nadab. Oh man, I forgot. One that David put over Joab because Joab killed Absalom. So he put this man over here, and Joab said, man, he killed him and took the position back. Then there was another person that put David the king over. He took the kingship from Saul's son because he put Saul's son in place. That's what I'm talking about. I forgot his name again. See, I be getting these names. I'm seeing it like it's light in my face, but I can't bring it out. So, but the point I'm getting at, if y'all got to read for yourself, y'all know what I'm talking about. That way I got to get in the scriptures to understand. But the point I'm getting at is that the brother that after Saul died, he tried to put Saul's son in place. His son disrespected him. He took his son out of place and gave the whole kingdom over to David. Then, because that same brother that gave the kingdom to David had killed Joab's younger brother because he told him, man, don't come this way, because that's when it was David and Saul was kind of feuding. But the captains of David and Saul got together and they was seeing each other, what have you. And Joab's younger brother tried to rush. He told, man, don't mess with me over here, just like somebody come and mess with you and you beat their little brother up. I told him, he started it. I told him to leave me alone, but he wouldn't go. So that's what ended up happening. He ended up killing the young man. They was at war, but at a time of peace, when he put David in charge, him and his other brother cornered him, and they under the fifth rib again. So they murdered those. Joab murdered those two. David didn't murder anybody. No, he did murder somebody. He wasn't a murderer, if you understand what I'm saying. He had a man murdered by putting him out on the front line in the war. You know, that's the way he did it. But if y'all read the story, y'all understand what's being said. But you got to understand, the more you read the story, you see things for what they really are. And this right here is the key. And I like to make sure I get my keys. Mark them up. And this is why he said David is a man after his own heart. It says, verse 5 again. Because David did that which was right in the eyes of Yah, and turned not aside from anything that he commanded him all the days of his life, save only in the matter of Uriah the Hittite. See that? That's the only thing he did, but he did that on his own accord. But that's still coming outside the law, but it says save only that situation. That's the only thing he did. And there was war between Rehoboam and Jeroboam. Okay, here we go. Hold on. Get this. Let me make sure I keep this right here. Say that only of Uriah the Hittite, which he was out of pocket because he knew he not only had that man murdered, he took his wife, but he was being honorable. He got that man's woman pregnant. Same thing going on today. How many men doing the same thing today? Out here messing around with other people, women. We got fathers messing with men with their daughter-in-laws. We got some men messing around with the woman and her daughter. You got daughters out here. You got women out here presenting themselves. The daughters and the mother presenting themselves together. You know what I'm saying? There's so much. It's wickedness going on, but a lot of people don't even realize the situations of today. So again, verse 6, 4, and 5. Nevertheless, for David's sake, did Yah, his father, give him a lamp, and you gave him a pass. You put that so I'm not coming to see it. I know where to find it. Put a pass right there. So if I ever come and look, I might have my little clues here. Gave a pass in Jerusalem to set up his son after him and to establish Jerusalem, because David did that which was right in the eyes of Yah, and turned not aside from anything that he commanded him. all the days of his life, save only in the matter of Uriah the Hittite, showing that no one is completely perfect. Showing that no one is completely perfect, but he did everything he was supposed to do as he should. So that's why I say when people are quick to point the finger, they got three pointing back at them. People are quick to point the finger and talk stuff. They got three pointing at them. And for the father to say this, no one has the nerve to even speak about David. Nobody should. But you know what? I would be even scared to speak against David because of this subject, because of this comment right here. I would be scared to speak against David. But a lot of people out here speak, they don't even know what they bring upon themselves. To see that David did. Now, how many people out here are doing all that they know that is right? And ain't made no mistake. You only got one check off on your list. So people don't pay no attention. And they just speak boldly about stuff they shouldn't be talking about. But hey, that's on them. Let's see what I'm looking at on 15. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, I'll probably take this to 15. Because right now, Asa's reign in now, okay, Asa, my man Asa. Asa was pretty good. It's some things right here. Well, actually, I guess it's in Second Chronicles. It might be here, but I think it's in Second Chronicles I'm gonna get to. But verse 6. And there was war between Rehoboam and Jeroboam all the days of his life. Now, the rest of the acts of Abiyam, now the rest of the acts of Abiyam, are they not, say, and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the Kings? So I guess when we get to Chronicles, we'll be reading more about him at that time. When we get there. And there was war between Rehoboam and Jeroboam all the days of his life. Now the rest of the acts of Abiyam and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the Kings of Judah? And there was war between Abiyam and Jeroboam. You see that? That's what I was saying. I just said that he had to be in Jerusalem because that Abiyam, the acts of Abiyam, and all that he did, are they not written? There we go. Are they not written in the Chronicles of the Kings of Judah? All right. And there was war between Abiyam and Jeroboam. See there? There we go. Verse 8. And Abiyam slept with his fathers, and they buried him in the city of David, and Asa, his son, reigned in his stead. And that's what he said. That's the light. I said Asa was good. Asa was good, but guess what? I don't want to spoil it, because this is where your doctors and physicians come from. I remember that. See, this is how you're supposed to remember the scriptures, but that's all I'm going to say for right now until we get there. And Abiyam slept with his fathers, and they buried him in the city of David. And Asa, his son, reigned in his stead. Now, verse 9, Asa, how people say it, reign in Judah. Verse 9. And in the 20th year of Jeroboam. See, Jeroboam was still going on for a long time. He saw 2 generations, or 3. And in the 20th year of Jeroboam, king of Israel, king of Samaria, which was Israel, reigned Asa over Judah. And 41 years, reigned he in Jerusalem. So he reigned 41 years, 1 year longer than Solomon, I do believe. And I believe David as well, 'cause I think both of those reigned 40. And his mother's name was Maacah. Maacah. Wait a minute, hold on. What was the mother's name over here? Abijah. Oh, same, look like the same mother. Maacah. Yeah, like the same mother. This mother's name was Maacah, the daughter of, yeah, same, they were brothers. So Abiyam and Asa, wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute, hold on. Let me go back over here and see this. Something looking mighty funny. And in the 20th year of Jeroboam, king of Israel, reigned Asa over Judah. And 41 years reigned he in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Maacah, the daughter of Abishalom. 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 Abishal. Okay. And Asa did that which was right in the eyes of Yah, as did David his father. We got to find out what's going on in this situation. Okay. She did that in pink. In this room, his mother's name was Ma. We got to find out what's going on with this situation. And Asa did that which was right in the eyes of Yah, as David his father. 12. And he took away the Sodomites out of the land. You see that? He got rid of the Sodomites. Now let's see what he did and how he did it. And he took away the Sodomites out of the land and removed all the idols that his fathers had made. You see that? That's good. And he took away the Sodomites out of the land and removed all the idols that his fathers had made. And also Maacah, his mother, even her he removed from being queen. Okay. His mother, even her he removed from being queen because she had made an idol in a grove. And Asa destroyed her idol and burnt it by the brook Kidron. All right. And also Maacah, his mother, he moved her from being queen. Because she had made an idol in a grove. Asa destroyed her idol and burnt it by the brook Kidron. But the light place were not the high places, but the high places were not removed. Nevertheless, Asa's heart was perfect with Yah all his days. You see that? I say he was a good one. All his days. Was not removed. Nevertheless, Asa's heart was perfect with Yah all his days. All right. And he brought in the things which his fathers had dedicated, and the things which himself had dedicated unto the house of Yah, silver and gold and vessels. All right. Yeah, it's a bigger story about Asa in the Chronicles. And we're going to come back with that. We're going to start that on part 2. We're going to start with, we'll come back and share a little bit about what happened at the beginning up to this point, and we'll go into part 2 with the rest of the information. But other than that, is there anything that y'all want to speak on when it comes to this first part in part 1 that we actually coming out of with Abijam, or the beginning of Asa's reign? Besides the testimony you just shared, Brother Cass, with the brother that got hit by lightning on the bike. Testimony going once, your point of view. Testimony going twice. All right.
I'll come in the next half.
Okay, no problem. I'm just checking to see if there's anything you want to say compared to what we were just talking about or what we were just reading. Wow. All right. So other than that, everyone, let's see who we got on the side just in case. We got my Uncle Anthony. What's going on over here on Facebook? How you doing, bro? Uncle Ant? Still waiting to hear from you so I know when I can come out there and visit you out there in the Flint area. A couple of people out there I want to see too, but I'm coming out there. I'll be able to have a quick stay. I know where I'll be at. I'm gonna just come out there, rolling around and turn around. Uncle Ant, good to see you. So Carl in Israel came in for a moment, and the House of the Wolves. Okay, the House of the Wolves came in. Glad to see y'all that came in on Instagram. And over here on Facebook. I mean on YouTube, like everybody's good. So we're gonna pause real quick on part 1. I mean on part 1 and on Zoom. We're gonna pause you for a quick minute. But before we go, I'd just like to say that I am that Mikael in Daniel chapter 12, verses 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's me. Showing our holy people who they're really supposed to be. Waking them out of their dead beds, which is really in their heads. For all of you who's living in the new, this is for you. I'm the same Mikael in Revelations 12, battling that red dragon where Satan dwell, who deceiveth the whole world but prevaileth not, because the horn is blown without a doubt. This was prophesied for you to see that Mikael is really me. We'll be right back with part 2 in a few moments. We're going to pause you, Zoom. We'll be right back. Thank you for your time, your patience, your listening there, and your seeing eye. We'll be right back. Peace.
Recording stop.
All right, and for YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Greetings, everyone. Hopefully everybody's having a great, beautiful Sabbath day. And also, just wanted to share with you, if you'd like to get in contact with us, we have a private class on Zoom every Tuesday. We have a private class on Zoom every Tuesday. We're on Zoom only at this time. And what we'd like to do, if you're interested in connecting with us on a Tuesday's class, it's called Introduction to Sovereign Class of Knowledge. It's called Introduction to Sovereign Class of Knowledge. And in this introduction to the Sovereign Class of Knowledge, what we do is I will have you or ask you, what you would do is send me your name, number, and email. Text me. Excuse me. Your name, number, and email. Once you text me your name, number, and email, what I would do is I would send you information. It's going to go to your email. You will accept my invitations for my Zoom meetings. Once you accept my invitation for my Zoom meetings, your information will come up in your Google Calendar, and that way you'll have access as well as notifications that will be coming through to get on Zoom if you're interested, or just know that the dates that we have, so you can either get on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram, which is public. But the Zoom only is on Tuesdays at 7:30 a.m. Eastern time, or at 9 p.m. Eastern time. That's 7:30 a.m. Eastern. Excuse me. Or 9 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday, rising of the sun, or after the sun is down at that and at the night after Tuesday. All right. And like I said, you can text me your name, number, and email at 770-572-5315. That's 770-572-5315. Or you can email me at lkhyym@gmail.com. Excuse me. Always having that on this time. Again, that's lkhyym@gmail.com. Don't forget, when you text me that information, you can also text me you'd like to know more information about the solving classes, and or you can text me about you like to know more information about the alkaline water and alkaline sun teas. So you're welcome to text me that information, and from that point on, I will send the information to you, or send the information that's needed for the classes or information. Now that's private. Now for public, the rest of the Zoom and for YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Patreon, and Rumble, all the rest is public, which is on the Sabbath. That was Tuesdays, and on the Sabbath, which is where we are right now, we have Sabbath Assembly of the Righteous. Sabbath Assembly of the Righteous. We're here every Sabbath at around 12 noon. I usually be on at 12, or I give it a little bit of time to get people to come. Excuse me. Give people time to come in, and that's on at 12 noon on the Sabbath days, on Saturdays as they call it, 12 noon, and then that 12 noon Eastern time. That's Assembly of the Righteous. Then on the night after Sunday, we have Fight Fire with Truth, which is open conversation. Fight Fire with Truth is open conversation on night after Sunday at 9 p.m. That's night after Sunday at 9 p.m. Then we have, excuse me, then we have Mikael's Knowledge of Truth. That's Mikael's Knowledge of Truth, night after Monday. That's night after Monday, Mikael's Knowledge of Truth. We're right here at 9 p.m. Eastern at that time. That's 9 p.m. Eastern at that time. We're here as well. So that's for the Zoom information. Now for the public, which is on Facebook, YouTube, and all the rest of my social media platforms. You can connect with me or us at on YouTube or X, formerly known as Twitter. That's X, formerly known as Twitter. Excuse me. X, formerly known as Twitter, or on YouTube, which you can like, subscribe, and share at JuicePro33. That's JuicePro 33. Again, that's JuicePro 33. All right. That's for X, formerly known as Twitter, and also that's for my YouTube. Now, if you'd like to connect with me on Facebook, my Facebook is Mikael Harris, which is spelled MI apostrophe CHAEL space HARRIS. Again, that's MI apostrophe CHAEL space HARRIS. Excuse me. MI apostrophe CHAEL space HARRIS. Now that's for my Facebook. Now for my YouTube and one of my TikToks. No, my Instagram and one of my TikToks. Well, my Instagram and one of my TikToks, we're at L'chaim underscore the juice, which is spelled LKHYYM underscore THEJUICE. Again, that's LKHYYM underscore THEJUICE. All right. At that point. Now, on my other TikTok and my other YouTube, you can like, subscribe, and share at. On my other TikTok and my other YouTube, you can connect with me by placing Michael the Juice Harris in your search engine, which is 4 words all combined to one, which is spelled MICHAELTHEJUICE. Excuse me. JUICEHARRIS. Again, that's MICHAELTHEJUICEHARRIS. All right. That's for that. And last but not least, you can connect with me on Rumble or Patreon. That's rumble.com/LKHYYM or patreon.com/LKHYYM. Again, that's rumble.com/LKHYYM or patreon.com/LKHYYM. Other than that, I'd like to thank y'all for your time, your patience, your listening near, your seeing eye. And this was 1 Kings chapter 13, part 1. We get ready to go into part 2 in a few moments. Other than that, we're going to say bye over here to Instagram. I thank you for your time, your patience, your listening ear, your seeing eye. See you soon. Hope to see you right back. And always, peace. Mhm. All right. And over here on Facebook, I'd like to thank you for your time, your patience, your listening ear, and your seeing eye. Appreciate, love you. See you soon. And always, peace. Good to see you, bro, Uncle Aunt. See you soon. All right. And over here on YouTube Live, I thank you for your time, your patience, your listening ear, and your seeing eye. We'll be right back with part 2. Thank you. Appreciate, love you, and always. Peace.